Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 10 a.m. meditation. So this morning, it's going to be more of a reflection and then meditation. And this reflection comes from a Science of Mind June magazine article written by Reverend Masando Hiraoka. Comes from The Art of Being Human. Live it, love, justice, and equity. So I just invite you all to get comfortable right where you are. Just breathing in deeply and reflecting on these words. He starts with a quote from Sister Joan Chittister. Faith is invalid unless you are living it. That is the basic message from the prophets, and it is as true today as it was thousands of years ago. Prophetic spirituality is an active spirituality that demands as much rock-hard commitment as it does heartfelt concern. Masando writes, I am profoundly grateful for the ways faith has supported me throughout my life. So often, faith is my place of respite, comfort, or a soft and safe place to land when everything else seems to be crumbling. Yet I've found that living a faithful life also produces the opposite effect. As much as faith comforts, it also agitates, pulls me out of my comfort zone, and calls me into ways of being greater than my individual life. Faith asks me to embody my beliefs, act from my values, be alive, awakened, and an aware human committed to fully participating in this thing called life. I find the feel-good faith that initially brought me onto the spiritual path can feel hollow. If I am committed to only feeling good, seeking comfort, or thinking about myself and nothing or nobody else, the faith that once saved me can become the very thing that keeps me from a whole, profound, and transformed life. I imagine we are all being called to a deeper kind of faith in these times. It is no longer enough to just want personal growth. It is not enough to be able to manifest things for ourselves. Our soul yearns for more. Deep faith brings us out of our own illusions of separation. It asks us to embody love, justice, and equity. We do not do this out of obligation or some politicized agenda, but because our faith demands us to be one with the world. This kind of committed faith gives me life, inviting me, sometimes demanding me to live in a way that brings vision into being, which transforms believing into creating, allowing me to be an active vessel for the divine. Such a wonderful article. So let's breathe into this idea of being an active vessel for the divine. How good that feels. an active vessel for the divine, bringing vision into being. Let's spend a few minutes in this place, in this space of contemplation. Knowing that we do not have to do anything. We just allow the divine vision into being. And if your mind wanders, just come back to your breathing. Consciously breathing in. And releasing. How does it feel to be an active vessel for the divine? We are all active vessels for the divine, bringing vision into being in whatever we are doing, sitting in meditation, contemplation, reading. Whenever we consciously connect to this divine energy that we are, whether we're driving to work, whatever we're doing at work, our thoughts, our words, our deeds, our emotions, staying consciously connected, bringing this vision into our life, the creative process, our interactions. And now in a lot of places we get to smile and we get to see other people smile. And that feels so good to see the divine smiling back at us. Feels good to know this. Feels good to actively participate in this. Whether I'm interacting with people at work, my partner, my children, anyone that I come into contact with. All are vessels for the divine. Breathe in this energy. Breathe it in and allow it to resonate. Going deep, knowing you all, this is what you already are. Spirit in form. Spirit creating, divinity creating in, as, and through each one of us. Continue to breathe in deeply as we bring the meditation to a close with a spiritual mind treatment. Breathing in, consciously breathing in and knowing that this breath is a gift, that this breath is life itself, that life is breathing itself in, as, and through each one of us. We are a divine vessel for this infinite cosmic power, this creative potential, this source, this divine energy of love that is making itself known through us as only it can through each one of us, unique, perfect, whole, and complete. each one of us creating from a space of divinity, each one of us conscious of this, bringing this divine influence into this place and this space right here and right now. Through our life experiences, through our relationships, through our community, we are at choice to walk this walk, to know the truth of our being and to know the truth of all of those around us, that there's only one, and it shows up in different sizes and shapes and colors and genders, and it's all God, and it's all wonderful to recognize and to see this and to actively take part in this and to honor and respect this, to know the truth, just to breathe this in and to see how good it feels, what magnificent beings we are. We are so amazing and powerful, beautiful, and joyous, divine expressions of the One. We are on here on purpose. We just breathe into that and let that fill us up. We are filled with divine energy, with creative potential. And today, we know that this is a day that Spirit has made, that the divine, infinite, creative power has made, and we get to rejoice in it and be glad. We get to delight in the divine, in the delicious nature that is imparted within us, that we are it, that it is all Spirit expressing. So we make it good. We create from a higher level of understanding. We create a world that works for all. And we allow ourselves to embody that, to feel that, to express that, to be that. It is all God and it is all good. So today I give thanks. I give thanks for this recognition. I give thanks for this time of reflection, of contemplation, of meditation, of coming together as the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore, of a community that loves and has love energy, that is attracting those that are looking for a different way to express, to be seen, to know who they are, to know that their soul yearns to know this truth. We are grateful for being that place and that space of higher energy, of higher resonance. All that are seeking come, and it is good. It is so good. So as we move into this idea of our own place and our own space, creating the divine energy, allowing it to flow in, getting out of our own way and allowing Spirit to make itself known, to move into us, to move in as and through us as this vessel. And we are grateful. We're grateful for this day. We're grateful for this weather. We're grateful for just watching nature unfold. We know that Spirit always knows what it's doing by ways of us. That Spirit is always showing us the truth, always enlightening us. We are open to accept this and grateful for this energy. So as we release this treatment, we release it into that divine law of love and energy, understanding and recognizing that it is done unto us as we believe. So we create from the place of the highest, deepest, loveliest, delightful joy. We let that express through us in gratitude, knowing that all is well, all is well, all is well with my soul. Amen, Ashe, and so it is.
Bittersweet this life that's taken me on this ride. Bittersweet the pain that sheltered me from the rain. Why am I fighting? What lies behind me are just seasons of growth. What am I learning? Stay completely still until I find my focus. Stay completely still. Stay completely still. Focus. Stay completely still and focus on my breath. Bittersweet the truth. It flows like waterfalls between me and you. Bittersweet this time. We've come together, but we don't know the next rhyme. Why are we fighting? What lies behind us are just seasons of growth. What are we learning? Stay completely still until we find our focus. Stay completely still. Stay completely still. Focus. Stay completely still and focus on our similarities, our peace and our clarity, love and humanity. We're all in this together. Bittersweet is death. But what is life without this old friend? Bittersweet our goodbye. But I know I'll see you on the other side. Why am I fighting? What lies ahead of us are seasons of growth. What are we learning? Stay completely still until we find our focus. Stay completely still. Stay completely still. Focus. Stay completely still. Stay completely still. Focus. Stay completely still. Stay completely still. Focus. Stay completely still and focus on my breath.
No, I'm joking. You're on camera now. You're on camera now. Go. Come on, man. You're on camera. Go. Action.
Good morning. Good morning, all. If you only knew what went on behind scenes. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Reverend Dr. Ray. You are, I'm going to share it with all of you.
You're to be of service.
I asked for a countdown, and usually he does 3, 2, 1. Today he says 29, 28. Really? You gonna give me a 30 countdown? Anywho, good morning. Woo! Yes, we're ready. Okay. In order to help with our method of recording our service, we request that congregants and participants who are not speaking, performing, or interpreting to please turn cameras off until after service. At that time, all can come on camera to fellowship and share the love. Thank you for your cooperation. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's virtual service. I am Tracy Rhymes, your host. Our speaker today is our amazing senior minister, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson. Our musician whose beautiful voice you just heard is Sahffi Lynne. Serving as today's practitioner who led the pre-service meditation is Monaghan. Woo woo! Assisting with making this service open, inviting, and accessible to the deaf community are our sign language interpreters, Dedra, Wilcher, and Renuka, Purimetla. Wow, I did it again. On behalf of Reverend Dr. Ray, thank you all for your service. At CSLGB, every Sunday is an invite a friend or family member Sunday. Make sure you spread the love and invite someone to service. We would love to have them hang out with us. Before Sue grounds us in prayer, let me share this about her. Sue has been part of this teaching since 2004. She has been a practitioner since 2013. Sue believes that we are the point of power in our lives, that our essence is spiritual and it is good. It is her desire to let Spirit reveal this wonderful truth through her. Sue is committed to CSLGB's vision that we are demonstrating a world that works for all. One life-affirming thought, word, feeling, deed, and one human interaction at a time. We all make a difference in other people's lives. May our light shine for all to see. Thank you, Sue.
Thank you, Tracy. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. So just breathing in deeply to this wonderful, magnificent morning, knowing and recognizing that there's really only one power, one presence, and it shows up uniquely and perfectly in, as, and through each one of us. We are the divine in expression, and that feels good to know, that feels good to breathe, that feels good to be. So just coming together today, the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore, and being in a community with like-minded people. For all those that are seeking, that'll listen to this later, we're grateful for the service. We're grateful for the minister, Reverend Raymont. We're grateful for our interpreters, Dedra and Renuka, for our host, Tracy, and our magnificent musician, Sahffi. Just giving such gratitude for this day to be together, to share in service, to celebrate our divinity, and to recognize the divinity in all of life expressing. It is good. It is so good. I am so grateful. I can release this treatment, and so it is.
Thank you, Sue. All right. The Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's community honors the world's religions. One tree, many branches. One mountain, many paths. One world, many religions and spiritual traditions. With the lighting of these candles on the first Sunday of each month, we not only honor each person on their select path, but we also bless them and recognize the light, the love, and the life-affirming nature of spirit as it shows itself in each path, in each practice, and in each person. July is Disability Pride Month. People with disabilities are the largest and most diverse minority within the population, representing all abilities, ages, races, ethnicities, religions, and socioeconomic backgrounds. This annual observance is used to promote visibility and mainstream awareness of the positive pride felt by people with disabilities. Today, I will highlight Zion Clark. Born September 29th, 1997 in Columbus, Ohio. Due to his condition, caudal regression syndrome, born with no legs, and his birth mother's inability to care for him, Zion was immediately thrust into foster care. He was mentally abused, physically bullied, and underfed, but he remained optimistic, faith in God. Zion was introduced to wrestling while in elementary school. He didn't win a match for several years. In high school, he met Coach Gil Donahue, who recognized his passion for the sport and relentless work ethic. Over the next 3 years, Zion improved his wrestling technique. Zion was adopted by a woman who had been praying for a son for years. The process was completed days before he was officially scheduled to be legally aged out. Zion's efforts hadn't gone unnoticed. A Hollywood producer documented his journey during senior year. The name of the film is Zion. Zion decided to embark on his toughest mission, becoming the first American athlete to compete in both the Olympic, which is for wrestling, and Paralympic, which is in wheelchair racing, Games in Tokyo, 2020. Zion is also pursuing interest in powerlifting with the bench press, wheelchair bodybuilding, and the circus arts. Zion stays busy as a motivational speaker. The moral of his inspirational story is that things don't always go smoothly in life, but in order to succeed, you must adapt to your individual circumstances. Priding himself in hard work, Zion offers that there are no excuses or shortcuts. It's all about faith, passion, and perseverance. Zion urges others to be greater than the obstacles you face. You and only you are in control of your destiny. To learn more about him, visit zionclark.com/pages.bio. Inspiration. All right. I have some announcements for you. We currently have three weekly ongoing ways to study, learn, and discuss. On the first and third Monday nights, the Sacred Contracts Book Club, hosted by Nancy Rosenberg. On Wednesday nights, the Science of Mind textbook exploration group facilitated by Reverend Dr. Ray. And closing things up on Thursday night, the study group facilitated by practitioner Dr. Ronnie Ellington. The discovery class is available online. Contact us at info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org or visit the website for more information on becoming a member of CSLGB. Sign up for the CSLGB newsletter, the CSLGB Facebook and Instagram pages, and get more news and information by visiting cslgreaterbaltimore.org or .com. Interested in a community camping trip? A CSLGB getaway? Sue Italiano is checking to see if there is any interest. If so, send her an email to sueitaliano@gmail.com. The CSLGB Ministry of Education has upcoming classes. Foundations of Science of Mind, facilitated by practitioner Dr. Ronnie Ellington. One more person is needed for the class to run. If you are interested in taking foundations, contact Sue Monaghan. Conversations about race. Racial literacy as a spiritual practice. Every second Wednesday of the month, 7 to 9 p.m. A year-long journey of experiencing racial literacy as a spiritual practice. As Centers for Spiritual Living holds the vision of creating a world that works for everyone as our beacon, our spiritual work is in examining our thinking, both our personal thoughts and those passed on to us in a collective, socialized manner. The required reading is A Race is a Nice Thing to Have, A Guide to Being a White Person or Understanding the White Persons in Your Life by Janet E. Helms. Love offerings gratefully accepted. For more information, contact practitioner Rebecca Arena Beal from CSL Columbia at 410-340-4805 or Bella358@comcast.net. The Essential Earnest Homes, facilitated by practitioner Eugene Holden. This 8-week class began Thursday, July 8th, 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're interested in registering, I believe this is the last week to do so. So to enroll, contact Sue Monaghan. For the full class descriptions and more information, you are encouraged to visit the website, cslgreaterbaltimore.org or .com, to find more educational opportunities in ours and other communities we are partnered with. Would you like to receive a daily text and voicemail from Reverend Dr. Ray? All right. So if so, type join, JOIN, to 833-663-9021 to begin receiving your daily inspirations. You will be glad you did. For those of you joining us for the first time and to serve as a reminder for others, on the count of 3, we shout, prayer works. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Prayer works. Whoa, one more time. Prayer works. Woo! I like that. Ooh, yeah. All right, I felt that. All right, so we as a community continue to treat and move our feet, knowing the truth for everyone around the planet. Prayer requests can be sent at any time via email to, excuse me, info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org. Whew. You know, Reverend Ray and Sue, I'm telling y'all, the two of you have messed me up.
I'm just saying, I'm glad that this time you didn't say you were gonna treat your feet, so.
Yes, and thus the laughter.
Yes, that's all.
Because Reverend Ray and Sue Monaghan, so I can be clear, have messed with me about me saying one Sunday,
It was more than one Sunday, and moving on, next slide. I'm moving to the next slide.
treat your feet.
I'm moving to the next slide.
All right, moving on, since he doesn't want to admit that. Our musician today is Sahffi Lynne. Woo! Okay, all right. Sahffi Lynne is an international singer, songwriter, and a vocal coach whose mission is to offer her music and teachings as medicine to open and connect our collective heart. Breathe that in. Her spirit-inspired performances and channeled original songs have taken her melodies around the world, and her own vocal ladder method of teaching, singing has lifted her students' voices and souls. Sign up for her monthly emails from Sahffi on her website, sahffi.com, or subscribe to her YouTube channel for weekly new videos. Just search Sahffi. Take it away, Sahffi.
Thank you so much, Tracy. Oh, it's so good to see everybody and be here with you. Yes, I just want to offer this song. It's the song I wrote the last day of 2020. And I remember thinking, ooh, this was a rough year, but I wanted to see the blessings in the challenges. So that's where this song came from. And thanks for having me, as always. I miss you guys, but I feel you in my heart. Blessings of this year are flooding in and turning tides. Oceans rise, rivers flow through the sands of time. Come back to your soul. Open hearts will feel the love, helping us realign. We'll realize there's room for all when our hearts become our minds. Come back to your soul. Now is the time, a time to share, a time to care, to open up our hearts, open up our eyes and see.
this year are flooding in and turning tides. Oceans rise, rivers flow through the sands of time. Come back to your soul. Be gentle with yourself. Be loving and caring and kind. Be gentle with each other. Everything will turn out just fine. Come back to your soul. Blessings of this year are flooding in and turning tides.
Thank you so much.
That was beautiful, Sahffi. That was
As
beautiful.
always.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sahffi. All right, so now Sue will lead us in a spiritual practice.
Thank you. Just being so full up from the service so far, it's amazing. Just the music and the story, it just fills my heart, my soul. Thank you, CSL Greater Baltimore. So right now, I invite you to get comfortable wherever you are, wherever you're sitting, wherever you're laying. And let's start by using our breath to just create the space for this meditation. Breathing in deeply, filling up your lower belly, chest, your upper chest. Really feel this breath go in and just gratefully releasing it out. Breathing in life fully. Breathing in life fully and completely. And then surrender and exhale. With each conscious breath we take, we are breathing life itself. God, Spirit itself, breathing us. There is no separation between life, spirit, and ourselves. This week's affirmation is, I am committed to the highest vision for my life. So I just want to invite you to spend a few moments in contemplating our highest visions for our life. I believe that when we made a commitment to come into this earth existence, we came with vision and purpose. So right now, just breathe in and allow this vision to show up with the affirmation and just allowing whatever comes up. We don't have to do anything. We don't have to be anything. We already are Spirit's vision right here, right now. Breathing in, I am committed to the highest vision for my life. I am committed to the highest vision for my life. I am committed to the highest vision for my life. Understanding and recognizing this truth, being committed to the highest vision for ourselves, in our lives, in the lives of our center. Just breathing this in, breathing in this goodness, this recognition that there is only one life, breathing in as and through us. This highest vision for our life. This is amazing. We are amazing. So we open up today to whatever that vision may bring. And we bring magnificence into form. We create this life, this vision, this purpose. We are the divine creators of life. We are participating in a collective, conscious, resonating, harmonic energy convergence of love. And we are doing that with meaning and purpose. We are together on purpose. And we are committed to this highest vision of our life and the life of our center now. So just being grateful for that, being grateful for this awareness, being full up from this service, from this divine music, from this just this divine talk, just even watching our interpreters. It's all amazing. I am so grateful for this day. I'm so grateful for participating. I'm so grateful for the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore. It is all good. It is all well with my soul. And in gratitude, I release this treatment. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Sue. Senior Minister, Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, has frequently been referred to as a Renaissance man. One look at his resume and the reason becomes clear. As a lifelong learner with a passion for self-development, personal transformation, transmutation, and self-awakening, he lives his bliss as a teacher, mentor, speaker, minister, and so much more. His mission is to live, move, and be an active, which is an acronym, authentic, compassionate, transparent, inspired, vibrant, and empowered member of society who serves to educate, elucidate, emancipate, awaken, and empower people and communities. And harass Tracy. Rev, I guess you know it's your time.
And thank you very much, Tracy. Let us put our hands together for Tracy. Yes, and let us treat her feet. It's fun.
That joke is only funny for you and Sue.
And Sue and I are interwoven, so we are fine laughing about that. So let us continue in this consciousness of what it means to be pulled by vision as we jump into the question: is your commitment greater than your resistance? Oh, say what now? This is an opportunity to reevaluate our commitment to the vision revealed to us earlier this year. Where and how are we resisting the transformation? Are we willing to release it? We are invited to revisit our why. What are we willing to recommit to in order to advance in the direction of our vision? We examine this from a personal perspective as well as an organizational or a collective perspective. So we mentioned this word resistance, and we know this phrase all too well. What you resist persists. I mean, we've heard it, we've said it, we've read it, we've quoted it, we've chanted it. What you resist persists. This is one of the reasons why a lot of folks say we have no business as a spiritual movement being involved in such things as Black Lives Matter or other forms of social activism. What's going on in Palestine and Syria and what's going on in Haiti. And we have no business being involved because what you resist persists. Show me a man who is against nothing and one who is for it. Like we quote it and we use the energy of it to misalign ourselves, to align ourselves, in other words, with inactivity, apathy, and spiritual bypass. Tracy told us the story of Zion, whose name means to be with God, one with God, where God dwells. And what is he? A wrestler. So metaphysically, one who wrestles must be one who resists being overtaken by the opponent. So we clearly must understand that this word in and of itself, resist, is far more than just a word we have to take at face value. Resist as a word, resistance as a word is not the issue. Opposition, what are we opposed to? Therein lies the question. See, rather than thinking about just don't resist anything. So when a young woman at a college frat party is in the process of being grabbed in order to be taken advantage of and raped, she is not to resist. She is to simply surrender and go with the attacker and let the attack, right? Like, pay attention here. We say, don't resist arrest. But if the arresting officer is the Gestapo, does that change the energy? See, the word itself is not the issue. We have to ask ourselves, what is my opposition to whatever this is? Am I opposed to surrendering and moving into this vision? Am I in resistance to my idea of forgiving someone? That it's easier to stay in the energy of conflict. Be mindful. Am I rejecting the idea that I am worthy? Then yes, that form of resistance is not life-affirming to who and what we are. But if I am being mindful that resistance is also a form of testing and tempering. You go to your primary care physician and they tell you, so I'm going to push against your arm and I want you to resist because it shows your primary care physician how strong you are. There is a time and a place for us to be in the energy of resistance. In the grand scheme in the world of exercise, we know that there are resistance bands. Not a band like NSYNC, not a band like the Rolling Stones, no, like a rubber band. It's a thing, a tool by which we use to create greater strength. So once again, the word is not the issue. It's the energy behind the word. It's the manner in which, it's the consciousness of what and how we are resisting, which means we have to be self-aware enough to know, am I resisting? And if I am resisting, then what is it saying I am committed to? Why am I resisting? What is the energy of what I am resisting? Through our self-awareness, we are able to then identify, this is a time to release and surrender. This is the time to yield. This is a time to speak up. This is a time to speak out. This is a time to sit down. This is a time to stand up. This is a time to take a knee. This is a time to pray. This is a time to, when we are self-aware enough, then we know what is the best course of action, what is ours to do. There's a passage in the Bible that says, submit yourselves then to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Well, we know in metaphysics, what this is saying is, submit yourselves then to truth. Resist the lies, and that which is a lie must flee from you. Do not believe the lie. Move into this thing called truth. And see, some of us, we don't like the truth. We don't like being told how good and glorious and magnificent we are. So we resist that. It is easier to accept the lie about ourselves than to accept the truth about ourselves. What truths are you right now being encouraged to commit to? Right? Commit to. When we commit, there is no turning back. There is no change, quote unquote, changing our mind. If I am going to go skydiving and I commit to the dive, once I leave the plane, no matter how I flap my arms or try to swim in the air, there is no going back to the plane. I must now surrender to the effects of gravity and surrender to the awareness of, when I reach such and such and such a feat, pull the cord and surrender into the unknowingness of parachute. Right now, what are we being invited and encouraged to commit to? What truths are we being invited and encouraged to commit to? Ernest Holmes says, one of the greatest stumbling blocks in any man's spiritual advancement is dishonesty. The refusal to honestly face an idea, if that idea happens not to please him. This comes in part from the human tendency to take the line of least resistance, whether it be in our physical endeavors or in the operation of our mind. Confronted with an idea that repudiates one we have held for years, we go far out of our way entirely around the idea to keep from being compelled to analyze and possibly absorb it. Pause and breathe. When we are faced with an idea of truth, sometimes we will go so far out of our way to refuse that truth, because when we accept it, when we analyze it and we absorb it, we must change. We don't like to change, but that is the invitation to change, to surrender, to release, to forgive, to let go, to love, to self-care. Holmes goes on to say, our cry is, I do not like to believe that. Back of this is the fear that an idea may be forced into our consciousness, which will uncover to us our own responsibility. The ability for us to respond in a life-affirming manner is the thing that we avoid. We don't want to be responsible. I don't want to be responsible for sexism, racism, homophobia. I don't want to be responsible for addiction. I don't want to be responsible for the condition of. And so what do? I bury my head in the sand. I pull my head into the shell. I don't treat because I don't want to move my feet. I don't speak, I don't analyze, I don't absorb the truth that there is only one power, and that power is infinite goodness itself. And what it is, I call forth. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be responsible. It's easier for me to twiddle my spiritual thumbs and just wish. It's easy for me to just go in my own little meditation corner and breathe and say, it's all God and it's all good. Even though the numbers of people dying as a result of are rising, it's all God and it's all good. Yes, in the absolute, that is 1000% true. And yet in the relative, in the lived experience, that is not the truth we are seeing live as an experience. But what does Holmes say? This is our greatest stumbling block, the refusal to accept truth because it makes us responsible. What is the hindrance to the commitment? We just spoke about that. The hindrance is, I don't want to commit to something because I'm responsible. Think about a relationship. The moment you commit to a relationship, you are responsible in that relationship. Whether that's a romantic relationship, whether it's a friendship, whatever that relationship is, once you commit, you are now responsible in some way, shape, or form to how you show up and your impact in that relationship. But once again, when we get to this idea of non-resistance, there's a whole lot of words that we make non-resistance. Okay, so, So wait a minute. What? Pause. Yeah, I don't like any of that. I don't like the concept. I don't like the energy. So I'm gonna just completely bypass and act like it doesn't exist. Because I'm going to get so enmeshed and immersed in this idea of I'm going to be for. I'm not even going to think about this other concept or idea. What is that doing, though? In the Science of Mind magazine, August 1993, it said, true non-resistance is the surrender of every arrogant attitude. Say what again? It is the surrender of every arrogant attitude of mind to good and to good alone. Those who have made this surrender have found real peace of mind, happiness, and wholeness in the only place that it can be found, which is within themselves, which is within their own lives, their own lived experiences. So non-resistance, what does that mean? Normally, when we think of non-resistance, we're thinking of let go and let God. Yeah. For the most part, it's going into the flow. Yes, it is surrendering. It is letting go. It is saying that my time as a caterpillar has come to an end and it is time for me to surrender, to let go, to allow the transformation of truth have its way with me that I may become what is my next greater yet to be. But do we like that? According to Holmes, our greatest obstacle is we're like, whoa. Pause, dude, pause. You say, what? Wings. Dude, I'm a caterpillar. I'm used to walking. I don't have a flyer's license. I'm not a pilot. I'm not trying to fly. I'm used to this tree and these leaves and my other caterpillar friends of like mind. You're asking me to change and give up what I've known, what I've been used to do what? To be something different? I'm good. I'm used to not forgiving. I'm used to not letting go. I'm used to being this small, weak person who doesn't shine their light. It's very dim. I don't want to stand out. I recede into the background so far that you don't even see me in the background. You just see the background. I'm used to that. I'm used to these friends who, criticize me and judge me. We commiserate together. You don't understand. They get me. They understand me. You're asking me to be something different. So we resist it. We don't like the idea of surrendering and letting go. We say let go and let God. And typically when we say that, we are anthropomorphizing God as if God is this something that's going to take care of it for us, rather than I let go, and that which is God as me, I let it have its way in, through, and as me. I let that part of my imaginal cellular structure birth me as this newly emerging phoenix, butterfly, enlightened being, whatever that is. I let it be. What did Sue say? And all is well in, through, and as my soul. All is well. But in order for that all is wellness to be the truth of my being, I have to surrender into. I have to allow this idea of commitment to rise up. I have to be committed to being well. I have to be committed to the consciousness of wellness for it to be my experience. Florence Scovel Shinn, who wrote My Word is My Wand, said, resistance is hell, for it places man in a state of torment. Now, once again, we have to be mindful of when she says resistance, what is she referring to? She is referring to the idea of not accepting or committing to the truth of your being. To the caterpillar that resists, then it's hell, because there is that which is all that you are, calling forth to be something new, and you're like, no, I'm no. So now you are in a state of absolute conflict with the very nature of your being, which clearly must be hell, because hell is that place or that state of consciousness where we accept the lies about ourselves. You're weak. You're unintelligent. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not thin enough. You're not light enough. You're not something. You're not godly enough. You're not divine. You're not holy. You're not. That's hell. Believing any of that about ourselves. What does our resistance say about our commitments? Think about ways or times in your life that resistance is or has been less life-affirming for you. What kinds of things do you resist that are beneficial in your life, to your life? Sometimes we resist things that we know are beneficial to us. Rest, take time to sleep, drink more water, be around people who love you. We resist that because it's habit. We know there are things that are beneficial to us, and yet we do not take the time. We do not invest the time. We do not commit to it enough to support our lives. Do you resist self-care? Do you resist forgiveness? Do you resist surrendering? Because to surrender is waving the white flag. That's a sign of weakness. Do you resist saying no? Oh yeah, I'll do that. Yes, of course, I'll do that too. And I'll do that and put more things on my plate. Matter of fact, my plate is overflowing, so give me another plate so I can keep saying yes and yes and yes and yes until I am actually saying no to me and my life. Because my yes to everything and everyone is far more important than my self-care. So I will run myself into the ground, to a grave by saying yes to everyone else. When will we say no as a full sentence? Because it is an act of self-care. What does this resistance demonstrate you are committed to? Because it is a demonstration of commitment. What is it that it's saying you are committed to? Now, think of ways or times in your life that resistance is or has been an effective life-affirming thing. Resisting oppression, for example, resisting genocide, resisting any of the isms. Is that not life affirming? Now, I understand that there is a fine line between the energy of being obsessed about the oppression and the genocide and the racism, sexism, where now our consciousness is actually promoting or creating more of the energy. There's always been war, there's always going to be war. The poor you will have with you always. That consciousness of that, yes, it promotes it, it keeps it alive. There's a fine line. However, there is also that critical point of energetic alignment where we know that this form of resistance, you want me to do what? You want me to stand up and go to the back of the bus? No, I resist this law. It is unjust, it is inequitable. You want me to salute to Hitler? No, I resist this form of fascism. You want me to do what? No, I'm taking a knee. You want me to do what? No, I'm waving the rainbow flag. I am an ally. There is that time when resisting oppression is life affirming. Resisting temptation to yield to the addiction. When the addiction calls itself forth and it's like, but I need a drink, but I want that donut, but I need sex, but I have to work 70 hours a week, but I have to do this. I have to, because I'm trying to avoid something. Being able to resist that is life affirming. If you are resisting X, Y, and Z, what is that saying that you are committed to being, doing, and having in your life and in the world? See, once again, it's about understanding the energy of what's behind the word rather than the word itself. Ernest Holmes said, now, I like to feel that faith is operated upon by a principle so that I won't feel that I have to energize the energy. Because if I had to energize the energy, I wouldn't know where I would get the energy with which to energize the energy. Like if I had to create electricity, I have to create electricity to be able to put electricity in the world. I don't know how to, that ain't electricity. Digging in my nose ain't electricity. Right? Where do I begin? I don't even know. Maybe if I grow an afro and I don't know. If I build it, I don't know but where's that stat? I don't know. But thankfully, what he's saying is there is a principle, the law that we anchor into. The law is the energizing principle. He goes on to say, this is one of the secrets of Jesus, non-resistance. Don't fight the law, work with it, allow it to live, move, and have its beingness in your thoughts, in your feelings, in your words, and in your actions. Work in alignment with it. Do not work in alignment with that which is less than life affirming. Do not work in alignment with that which is the lies about who and what we are. Work in alignment with truth. Work in alignment with love and law. Dr. Joseph Murphy said, if you set up resistance in your mind to the flow of life through you, this emotional congestion, also referred to as constipation, will get snarled up in your subconscious mind and cause all kinds of less than life affirming conditions. Mental constipation, emotional constipation will get us snarled up, snared within, trapped within this subconscious mind that causes all kinds of conditions that are not life affirming. In The Art of Aikido, the founder Morihei Ueshiba says, non-resistance is one of the principles of Aikido because there is no resistance. You have won before even starting. People whose minds are quote unquote evil or who enjoy fighting are defeated without there even being a fight. See, the moment we believe the lie, we are already defeated. But the moment we surrender into law, there is no need to fight anymore. The moment we anchor into the truth with a spiritual mind treatment, we are already set free. We are already in the knowingness that all is well. Our minds are open, our hearts are open. We are now sharing and breathing from the very soul of our essence into a world that works for all. But once again, we have to know what the energy is. What energy are we anchored into? What energy are we moving from and through and as? Resist when it is life affirming. Surrender when it is life affirming. Deny when it is life affirming. Pause, because I know some of you are like, deny. Keep in mind, there is that time when doing spiritual mind treatments that the practitioner will state a denial. For example, what I am knowing in this moment right here and right now, that there is no man, woman, or person who has the ability or power to deny the truth of what God is. There is no illness or sickness that can defeat who and what I am as the very incarnation of spirit. That's a denial. So it is fine to deny when it is a life-affirming denial, and allow when that allowance is life-affirming. See, we have this ebb and flow, but once again, it is far more about the energy than it is about the word. Our self-awareness is what allows us, what gives us the realization to know what's going on in my mind, my feelings, my words, my actions. What is that demonstrating in the world? Is it demonstrating that I am resistant to truth? Is it demonstrating that I am believing the lie? I am allowing the lies to marinate in my mind. Like, what is it saying? Self-awareness. That is why we do the spiritual practices, to keep our mind, our heart, our spirit, our soul, our awareness open to the alignment of what truth is. Diane Harmony said, faith is a spiritual conviction that what we know has greater power than any apparent material appearance and or resistance. Thus, in faith, we can surrender into the vision of our I am and know at the deepest level of our being that it is that which God is within us, and that it is what does the work. So what is this? When we surrender, we are allowing. Allowing being this idea of permitting and letting and recognizing, empowering and accepting. I permit more and more good into my life. I let God be God as me. I recognize my magnificence. I am living an empowered life. I accept all the good that I can conceive of. And breathe. Our exercises that we are encouraged to engage in this week are, ask yourself, what am I committed to in my life right now? And what is the evidence of this? What do I tend to resist in ways that are not life-affirming? And lastly, have a conversation with tres personas. Oh, muy bien. Have a conversation with 3 people about the concepts surrender, permitting, allowing, releasing. What do these concepts mean to you, and what is the invitation as it relates to your commitments in your life? And we breathe. This week's affirmation or declaration, I will say it first and then together if you are feeling so called. Together. I am committed to the highest vision for my life. Together. I am committed to the highest vision for my life. And we breathe that in. We breathe that in with gratitude as we prepare our minds, our hearts, the very vibration of our beings for this amazing, beautiful, and talented expression of highest vision. This being and stepping into the very vibration of God as we welcome back to the stage our beloved Sahffi. Put your hands together. Love you, Sahffi.
I love you too, Reverend Ray, Dr. Reverend Ray. Wow, that message went right to my heart this morning. I am committed to the highest vision for my life. Woo, yes. So I'm going to sing my song for you, Release Your Fear. I think a lot of you know it. I'm going to put the lyrics for the chorus in the chat so you can sing with me. Release your fear, give into the open door. Release your fear, because we can't live there anymore. Yes, remember that one? So feel free to sing along. Your resistance to love is what's holding me back. I feel myself slipping away. I'm afraid of your doubt, implications of fear. I don't know what else I can say. Don't know what else I can say. You say you need some more time just to figure it out. What exactly is time? If love is timeless and your heart is pure, why am I forced to follow this line? Release your fear, give into the open door. Your fear, 'cause we can't live there anymore. Yeah. You may think I am foolish, just a silly girl. I see you trying to figure me out. Well, I'm the one with no doubts, no fears, no regrets. I am living in the now. Release your fear, give into the open door. Release your fear, 'cause we can't live there anymore. This is not an ultimatum. This is not a threat. A love so pure surrounds us all. What is it we don't get? We can't live there anymore. One more time. Release your fears. Give into the open door. Release your fears. 'Cause we can't live there anymore. Yeah, thanks for singing with me. I felt that in my heart. Thank you.
Woo! Oh, oh my! Wow, I love this song. Wow. I was over there signing it because, woo, I love, oh man, wow. Thank you, Sahffi, as always. Thank you for bringing it and for reminding us such things as, what's the point with fear? Fear for what? Fear, hold on to your goodness. Be afraid of that. No. Release your fears. Release being afraid of being good. Release the fear of being well and healthy. Release the fear that keeps us uncommitted to our divinity. Release, let that go. Oh, okay. You want a tambourine. So at this moment, we anchor, Trace laughing at me again. We anchor into pause, breathe.
Just breathe.
Come back. There's always room for cupcakes. Breathe. So we come back to this moment of recognizing that we are a divinely empowered, powerful, magnificent community that is showing up as CSL Greater Baltimore, and that this is the time of service when we demonstrate part of that power, part of that commitment, part of that conviction in how we support this beloved community in terms of our tithes and our donations. But why, Reverend Ray? Why is that even a thing?
Why?
Because we understand and we recognize that this community is a beacon of energetic truth and light to the greater Baltimore area. How do we reach others if we do not have the means to, quote unquote, as Tracy says, keep the light on? How do we have someone that we are paying to do PR or social media or our accounting? Like, we can't pay Kim if we don't have the money. Like common sense says, oh, money, the energy of, is how we function as a business, but it's also how we demonstrate our spiritual practice of sowing seeds into the community so that we can then reach and teach and help others to know the truth of their being. And Tracy said, thank you for that added comment, Tracy. I don't know if y'all heard her, but she said, and have clean bathrooms, because that's extremely important.
Yes.
So at this time, let us remember that the practitioners of CSL Greater Baltimore have pledged by the end of the year $25,000. As of June 24th, that number is 2440. The community has also a matching pledge, $25,000 by the end of the year. And as of June 13th, it said 2440, 60, 9440. No, okay.
I heard you say 2440. So
oh, because 9440.
Because you're treating your feet.
And the community's matching pledge as of June 13th is 1075. Once again, that's 1075.
Wow.
How do you tithe, donate, or offer?
How?
PayPal, text to give, or through the postal mail service. If at any time you have more questions, feel free to reach out to anyone on the board of trustees, any of the practitioners. To get more information, you can also go to cslgreaterbaltimore.com/give. Oh, and did you know that you can divide a portion of your tithe or offering to certain things? You can donate a 10% to compassionate care, 40% to the new building fund, et cetera, et cetera. The youth ministry, music ministry, you can divide it up how you decide or determine or desire, or you can simply trust that the Board of Trustees, as excellent stewards, will do what they need to do. Together as a community, let us declare the financial wealth and abundance of the community, but also that of our own individual wealth, abundance, prosperity that shows up as health and joy and love and finances. Together, I joyfully, consciously, and gratefully participate in the law of circulation. I trust in the spiritual principle that says, as I sow into my beloved community, I demonstrate my awareness of standing not only in the flow, but as the flow itself. As I sow of myself, my time, my treasure, my talent. I demonstrate my support and engagement in my community's vision, mission, and purpose. I actively give as a demonstration of manifesting, of reaping the harvest of a world that works for all. Ooh, and so it is. So as Tracy would like to remind us all today, be awesome and be committed to your awesomeness. Be committed in such a way that when you go wherever it is you go today, people who see you, people who hear you, people who bump into you, they can't help but to say, oh, snap, that's an awesome person. Oh, I smell awesome now. Ooh, let me just rub some of that on me. Like they feel your awesomeness as a contagion that allows them to also awaken their own awesomeness. Now, did you know that today after service, you could have prayer? You can ask for prayer? Well, you can, because I don't know if this is your first time. If you would like prayer, type prayer into the chat box and Tracy will put you in a breakout room with our practitioner on duty today so that she may engage in this one-on-one spiritual mind treatment, spiritual practice with you. Also be mindful that it doesn't have to be when something is not going in the manner in which you desire it to go. For example, all is well. All is well. So I want that all is well to continue to expand in the same way that consciousness is ever expanding consciousness. I want my wellness to expand in such ways that all areas of my life are well. My relationships are well. My finances are well. My body and health well. My living arrangements well. My neighbors well. The world in which I live well. Like you can pray for that. So knowing that, simply once again, type prayer. And if you're not able to stay, because you may have other things to do as you're out in your day being awesome today, know that you can email us at any time at info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org. And the practitioners will pray. And if you ever want a practitioner to contact you directly, all you got to do is let us know and someone will be in touch to pray with you directly. Now, let us know that even though service is coming to a close, that which we are as spirit in service to and through and as itself never ends, never ends. Even when this body is shed, that which spirit is as ever expanding consciousness. Because what does our declaration of principles say? That we believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. So that which God is as infinite service to itself, through itself, by itself, and as itself, always was, always is, and always will be. So we know, we declare, we touch and agree, and we call this service, we call this living in joy, this commitment to releasing fear, this commitment to embracing love, this commitment to being awesome, being whole, being perfect, being complete. We accept it, we are committed to it, we are convicted of it and by it. And all is well. And so it is. Love you.